Morning, guys. It's Monday, 6:25 a.m. God, last day of March. Get ready to pay them bills again. I wanted to talk a little bit because I want to make sure I'm not just angry today and that the things that I'm feeling and thinking are valid. I'm sure other people can relate. My question this morning was, why do the people that are believers of God, followers of God, we may not be perfect, but those followers and believers, why do we suffer the most? You know? And I'm not saying, excuse me, I'm not saying that people that don't believe in God don't suffer, because they do, and that's a fact. And I'm not trying to be whiny either. I'm just, we're also in the middle of Lent, so I should have thought about that first, because spiritual attacks are sort of increased during Lent, and I have found that the more I have been a believer, and especially an adult believer of God, that these attacks, I've kind of looked into it. There have been times I've had to have my house blessed for things that are coming against me and my daughters, nightmares, attacks, physical abuse, relationships, things like that happened during those times. And I know we get tested, I know that God, and I almost feel like there's some kind of agreement, there's an agreement, like good and evil. There's the scales of balance, justice, if you want to call it, but where God is allowed so many things. God is allowed to bless and favor so many things, and he's kind of governs over those things. And then the devil gets to grab onto things here and there and claim those things, Like, I feel like the devil created insects and bugs. I really do. Like, I'm sorry. Anything evil, I feel like the devil had to have a hand in it. That's his little army. But I feel like the people that, I'll use my family as an example, or, even my father as an example. I don't know whether to stop here or not. Come on. I'm just going to stop. Can you put your sign away? Are people crossing? All right. Sorry, school buses. Don't want to hit the children's. My father's an example. Okay, so, like, my dad isn't a perfect person. He had his youth and his mistakes, and he's, everybody's lied, everybody's done imperfect things. But I look at, and I always have to think of, my dad has battled cancer for some years now, and thankfully he's alive and he's doing well. I guess they call that remission, but I look at it as, because when we thought he was dying, and we were, you never prepare for it, but when you have to think about it, when you're faced with it, and those disgusting, horrible emotions and feelings and planning, I think, what would I say at my dad's eulogy? What would I say at his funeral? So I think of all the good things he's done, all the good people he has befriended and helped, all the times he's signed up in church to volunteer, all the times that he's signed up to be a godparent, because it's a lot. Because a lot of times there's children that don't have those family members to represent them, or to be accountable enough to kind of walk with them with their walking God. So my dad volunteers with my stepmother. They have a lot of godchildren. So that's awesome. That's like I think that's a big thing. I think God sees those things, and I feel like if there's like a tally system of good and bad in your life that you do, just like God and the devil, I feel like there has to be some kind of a balance of scales. And I look at myself, and I know I'm not perfect, and I know I make mistakes every day, and I probably disappoint God every day. I hope not, but it's possible, I just hope and I pray that I get a chance to really somehow help, the people that have helped me in my walk with God, helped me in the church that we belong to. I may not be present all the time and attend, but I respect them, and I see over the years, especially after COVID, how many of the church family and the elders are gone. Those baby boomer generations are dwindling, and it's scary because our generation, my generation, and my children's after me, I just hope that they know God. I hope that they get a chance, because those elders aren't going to be there, and I am not a perfect person to lead, but I also know that God uses imperfect people. So while we're still in Lent, I guess I have my moments where I'm imperfect, and maybe I complain about my walk, about the many things I'm facing, and some of them are my own fault. Some of them are just things that happen. And I know I'm not the only one that deals with these things, but I just wonder, about justice and about the balancing of things. I wonder if the people that really believe in God and try to do better every day, if that gets factored in.